Hey guys, Nolan and Jason here with Plumbing Webmasters.
Howdy.
Got a cool one today. You don't deserve high ranking for your plumbing keywords, and I'll tell you why. And so
we got a cool one. You suck.
No,
no, not really.
It's someone who's not up there now doesn't deserve it, and I'm
right.
going to explain.
That's why you're not up there.
That's why they're not up there.
Right.
And so let's just now. I meet people, or I talk to people online all the time, in varying degrees of deservedness or whatever. Give me a better word, Jason, than deservedness. But
no, deservedness works.
Deserved, is that a word?
Yeah, it is. I think so. Sounds good.
All right, but
you always hit me up. I can like throw out the big words in conversation, but if you say, give me a word for this, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, people don't deserve it typically and that's why they're not up there.
Right.
So they don't deserve it, and there's no why they're up there. And
which, by the way, that has nothing to do with how good a plumber you are.
No.
At all.
No, it doesn't.
Or it has nothing to do with how good you are running your business or anything else. It's this very particular thing.
I'm going to tell them how they can deserve it.
Right.
But telling stories about how people don't deserve it is more interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a call last week from a guy, and he said, "Hey, Nolan, love my website." And I'm like, that's a huge
that's a massive red flag.
So people build a website, pay money for it. Typically it's crap.
They love the way it looks.
They like it.
The designer did exactly what they wanted, yada, yada, yada.
He was an older man.
Yeah.
An older, I'm going to guess, I've never seen him. I'll stereotype him real quick. I think he was an older white male. And he had paid money for the website. He loved it. Now, I will tell you, between me and you and anybody listening, any of us could have looked at it. Website was shit.
Yeah.
But he liked it. Now, it doesn't matter that it was visual shit, because it also was Google algorithmic shit.
Yeah.
And so this website had 2 service pages. 2. It had a bullet point of cities he wanted with no pages on them, I might add.
Yeah.
And all in all, the whole thing was crap. And he said, "No, I want to work on this." And I'm like, "Look, man, I can't fix that any more than I can fix."
We can't put enough perfume on this pig. Yeah.
No, it was like, I need you to fix my cracked root, 3-inch cast iron pipes scaled up with roots growing through them. It's like, yeah,
those have to be replaced.
Can you? It's offset in certain places and rolling straight in the dirt. Can you reline this? No, man, I can't make those pipes new. I can't reline those pipes. This whole thing's screwed and got to be redone. So everybody out there has a crappy website. And worse than that...
Unless they're one of our clients.
Yeah. Anybody who calls me has a crappy website. Like 99% of the time. Yeah. I was going to say point, but I give 1%.
We'll give 1% some credit.
But if they have a good website, they don't call us, right?
Right, because it's working.
Because
they have a good website, it's working, and they're not unhappy with their results. If we're getting the call, they're not happy with their results.
It's not just the website and the content, but that is a lot of it, and that's 99% of the time messed up and needs to be redone.
Right.
So like, people don't call. This is another analogy for a plumber to kind of latch onto. I like to give some analogies so people can understand it fully. It's like, hey, ABC plumbing repair. It's like, yeah. Man, I need plumbing repairs. I'm pretty sure I need them. Like, well, what do you need? But I don't know. I don't want to pay for any of them. I think my stuff's working. Well, what makes you think it's working? Well, I can get some water out of the faucet. I mean, I'm standing in water and there's stuff coming out of the walls, but I don't want to pay for anything. Okay, so just fix this shit. But let me tell you something. I'm going to be a horrible client. I don't want to pay for anything. I'm not looking. I want to do one thing. So there's water coming out over there. I'm standing in water. Just get it to where I'm not standing in water. But sir, there's.
But don't fix where the water's coming out.
Yeah, there's water coming out of the ceiling and the walls. Yeah, don't fucking touch that.
Just pump the water out of the.
Just pump the water out of the. I don't want to stand in water. So.
That's good.
So that's basically what people call me. Like they call me and they say, look, man, I know my stuff's on fire. I know the house is on fire. I don't give a shit. If you can't tell me what I want to hear, even though it's completely unreasonable, I'll go somewhere else, buddy. And I'm like, okay, well, that hasn't worked very well. Now there's varying degrees of this when people call. Yeah. Some people just call and they're like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's time for me. I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines.
I've looked at your stuff. I've watched your videos.
Yeah.
You guys know what you're talking about. You shut up and take my money.
It's time to go, and I'm ready to make. They're making an educated decision.
Right.
Other people call up and they're in varying degrees of, my house is on fire with floods everywhere, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to do your damn job, and I'm not going to pay you jack.
Fires and floods at the same time.
Fire. So the guy that called up and said, I have a website that I love, but it's horrible. I want you to make it sing and dance, boy, and don't change anything, and don't redo it, or just work on the crap that I have.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, somebody used party balloons for pipes in your house, and it's kind of screwed up. Like every time we replace one of the clown balloons, another clown balloon strikes a leak. And it's like, they're like, get this clown balloon house up to code, bro, like right now for this much money.
A lot of people seem to think that you can put whatever website up and that there's some sort of weird arcane thing we do in the background that makes things go to the top.
A lot of people have,
and that's not it. But a lot of people think that.
They think you can trick Google, the smartest guys in the room, into thinking that your junk is great.
Right.
It's like, please go full Google with black hat SEO tactics and do links out of India and whatever you dumb web geeks do, and make this shit great. Right. And so I'll get off of that for a second. So the analogy is crystal clear, right?
Right.
But that's what, if a plumber could put themselves in my shoes, that's what people call, hey, and do, Nolan, please. And I'm like, man, and I don't want to redo websites. I don't redo websites and spend thousands for my health. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, if we could do something just on the site you have and save ourselves a crap ton of labor,
right,
we would absolutely do that. But believe me, we would love to do that.
Let's do a little secondary.
We've tried it and it never works.
It never works. That's why we spend thousands on each new client launch, even though we don't charge for that.
Right.
And they pay a monthly fee, which is a damn good deal, I might add.
Right.
But the house is flooded and we need to fix things, So Nolan Walker here for Datapens. You may not know, but I own a software company, and we have a proprietary software called Datapens, Datapins. You can search it at datapens.com. This is not white labeled. I actually own this piece of software, and I made it for you. It was made for contractors. You can actually take pictures of jobs, up to 6, make a caption about the material, the brand, the situation, the repairs, and post that back to your individual pages on your website, just like that. It's super simple. Anyone could use it. It also texts and emails your clients direct links to your reviews, so it helps reputation and reviews, which helps conversion and map placement. The geo coordinate gets grabbed by Datapens, and Google can tell where you are. So instead of them just seeing reviews, they see all jobs or even estimates that you do. This vastly outperforms just getting reviews. Helps the map show up, helps organic keywords, and remember those captions that you're putting in there help expand the keywords per page, and it's great regular content. I love it. We made it just for you. It is organic optimization on steroids for both your website, your rankings, and the map placement. Check out Datapens. I think you'll be happy you did. I'm going to throw a little subcategory in here for everybody because I don't think I'm going to do one on this category topic for this specifically. But let's talk about the big show for plumbers. So the big show for plumbers is showing up organically. So people don't, because we talked about websites for a little too long just now, and the content on the websites, and people think, well, that's old, isn't it, Nolan? So let's discuss that for a minute. It's like these guys are old talking about old website design and content.
Right.
So let's explain to them what is going on here. Almost all plumbers call me, and they're bouncing around. They've never even participated in the big show. So not only do most people, until they come to the point to where they're going to change it, work on the marketing properly. And I want to give a little disclaimer to people, or a little credibility to people. You can pay money in our industry and get screwed and still not get good work done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
in fact, that's more often than not.
I'm going to give you that. You may have a shit show going, but you didn't want it, and you paid good money, and you got screwed.
Yeah.
And I'm recognizing that. So
you may have tried to participate in the big show.
Right.
You just didn't know that you were being sold forged tickets.
So the big show is, by definition of, I think I coined the term big show on a podcast the other day, but the big show is Google. So someone said to me, Nolan, is Google all you do?
Oh, that's right. That's how it came out.
And I'm like, and I've been, it really pisses me off.
Just is a 4-letter word.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I just like, wow, we do a lot of work here. And I said, and I backed up and described it differently because I was reading something about controlling my emotions. I was on a Tony Robbins podcast, by the way, and I've been working on stopping, breathing, and not getting frustrated with people. Whether they're driving too slow or too fast or whatever. So when he said that, instead of getting triggered, I said, took a breath, and I said, okay, so let's talk about no. And I said, hey, I said, so I think what you're referring to is the big show. That is where 87% of people go to Google to look for home services, and of those people, 70+% click on a non-paid item. Right. So SEO or organic on Google is what I'd like to refer to you as, so you'll understand, is the big show, which you've never had. You've always had to scrounge around for leads, which is nothing shameful, but you've never even understood or participated in or had the privilege of the big show, which changes your life.
Right.
So when you say, I just do Google, I like to do Google because it's the stinking big show. Right. And when I get the big show right for somebody, they freaking stay for years as a client. And I don't want to screw around with only doing your little pay-per-click stuff where you're going to get pissed off in 4 months because the cost per click is too high and the return on investment is low. It's not my stinking fault.
Right. They're going to go along, and then there's going to be, like if they're a plumber, there's going to be a flood, and all of a sudden the cost per click is going to go through the roof, and they're going to have to double their budget to get the same clicks they were getting before, possibly triple, depending on what it is. And all of a sudden they're going to get angry and think that's on us, when no, that's just the cost per click on Google, and we can't control that.
This group of people, this group, this guy. Well, ooh.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's from a group that does exactly that all the time.
Yeah.
And I told him that. I said, no offense to you being a restoration contractor.
Oh,
so,
yes.
And he actually did water restoration and roofing.
Okay.
I said, no offense to you not being topically relevant or having any user intent related to your category, but guys that do restoration or chasing ambulance chasers or running from one to the next, and as a group over time, I've noticed that you guys don't pay for real marketing or try to brand your company. So the chances of this going to fruition with you.
No offense, but we've seen it over and over.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
If you're a plumber, it's one thing. And listen, the plumbers is probably the most secure category there is.
Right.
Because they're not, roofers need storms and insurance a lot of times. HVAC, which, well, I like all these categories, but HVAC is up and down. They eat and beats at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Spring and fall. But the plumber gets to do work all year long.
Right.
But the plumbers know who restoration guys are because they call them looking to scrounge their leads off of them.
Right.
And the lead.
Or vice versa. Yeah.
No.
You mean the restoration? I thought you were saying it the other way.
The plumber's
you were thinking what I was thinking.
The plumber's not going to get anything off the restoration.
Yeah, the restoration guy calls the plumber because the plumber has gone into a flooded house.
Right.
Restoration guy wants to come in and set up his fans.
Pipes are fixed, but you need you need water extraction and mold remediation.
Right.
But that guy pays like $500 a lead, 10% of the job, $700 and 10% of the job. It's crazy how much leads cost.
Yeah.
So for someone not to try to participate in the big show in that category is beyond my comprehension, but they don't. I never heard from that guy.
Yeah.
And actually we had a very civil, good conversation about it that led to a podcast called The Big Show. But anyway, so when somebody gets their website right, their brand, their content, they work on things regularly, reviews and reputation, and they're giving regular signaling to Google, they can participate in the big show.
Right.
It's freaking fantastic. And I want to say something else I didn't get to say in that big show conversation that we had. Somebody could discount the big show, and they do, by preconceived notions in their head of propaganda that's gone into willful ignorance of the deal. Just believing shit and like, I can't get up there, I've tried. And
that other guy's been up there forever.
That guy's been up there, and it doesn't matter anyway because, you know, it's all gone to leads and Yelp, and nobody clicks on the organic. All bullshit.
Absolute bullshit.
All horseshit made up in their brain.
Yeah.
And
we hear it all.
Oh yeah, they think, oh, they don't click. Yelp's got it. Angela's got it. Home Advisor's got it. They all click on the Google ads at the top. No.
Nobody reads that content.
No, about 20-something% of people do that.
Yeah.
And that shit costs like 500% or more.
Yeah.
Like, it's measures of magnitude more, to the point that you can't stand it and you hate all the lead companies.
Yeah, but you keep paying them.
And then people look at it and say, well, it doesn't work. Well, why the hell do all the primary people, all the best plumbers in their market, are freaking up in the big show in their damn face?
They're in the top 3 spaces. They're in the map pack. They're in the top 3 or 5 spots on organic.
Oh, it's just, there's Joe's Plumbing, Ace's Plumbing, you know, Oak Tree Plumbing. Well, are those the 3? Well, yeah, those are the big ones. It's a freaking big show. It's a freaking big show.
They're getting cause and effect backwards. They think those guys are up there because they're the biggest players in the market. It's like, no, they're the biggest players in the market because they're up there.
Boom. That's why. You got away with words, my friend. But yeah, so that's the big show.
Yeah.
They're up there reaping and raking in tons of leads from their reputation and brand.
Right.
Because they didn't get completely leveled by propaganda or false narratives or willful ignorance on the stuff or ego or, you know, attitude about it. Just someone giving up. They get screwed by marketers and they gave up and they didn't participate in the big show.
They got told a bunch of horseshit about SEO, about how it works and what you do. They paid somebody some money and it didn't do anything. They got screwed. And so now when they call us and they hear us saying some of the same stuff, at least on the surface, they think we're just doing the same thing.
Right.
And or we're not, like you made the point earlier that people are hearing content. Well, that's old stuff.
Yeah.
Well, newsflash, everything we do in SEO, unless it gets outlawed by Google, you know, unless Google comes in and says, don't do this anymore, and they tweak the algorithm so that it punishes you for it, every part of SEO, it's not this replaces this, it's this gets added on the stack.
Yeah.
You still need a well-coded website, a well-designed website, good content. Everything that gets, every new technique gets added to the pile.
You're correct. My brain was trying to think of stuff. The only thing that got taken off that pile was the stuff that was against Google algorithmic.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, you know, when we had backlink inflation and you'd have a local plumber with 400,000 backlinks or some ridiculous number, and we actually, back in the day, we got some that had those kind of numbers, which is insane. It's like you don't have 400,000 websites in your local area that could possibly be linking to you for your services. So Google tweaked that and outlawed all that, and so now that doesn't do anything. That actually hurts you. But everything else, every new technique is just another thing we have to do.
Hey there guys, Nolan Walker here for HVAC Webmasters. Glad you're listening to the podcast, but I'd like you to become a client. We're a digital marketing agency that have done this for 12 years. I don't think there's anybody better than us at this point in time. We will help you with your design, your code, your content, showing up as high as we can on Google ranking, your organic ranking, your map ranking, your reputation, your reviews. Our digital marketing agency will help you be the best possible online. We can help you with all of it, even paid. We even have a software company called Datapens that's proprietary. We made it for you guys. You can take 90 seconds and do a pin on each job. We call them data pins, and it'll grab the geo coordinate where you're located. It looks like a little red pin drop, but to Google it looks like a digital hand raise. This helps them see where you're working. So if someone doesn't give you a review, they've got this with photos of the job that count as unique content and a caption. Let's say it's Linux air handler replacement with Linux M30 Wi-Fi thermostat. This is additional content that's literally going to drop on the individual service and city pages on the website and expand your keyword search ability. It's crazy how cool Datapens is combined with the SEO and digital marketing agency services of HVACwebmasters.com. Guys, check us out. We'd love to hear from you. Got an HVAC lead right now.
Yeah.
Guy emailed me. And I'd read it, but it's like, guy emailed me and said, spend $70,000 a month on advertising. Jesus. So this is true. I'm not making this shit up. I mean, I couldn't make this stuff up. I spent $70,000, and this is, and I didn't want to call him back. Y'all look at me and go, no, and call that guy back, make a bunch of money. No, the guy's not, and his mental state is not, he's not grounded properly. So he's like, I spend $70,000 a month in advertising. I've never really focused on organic. I think I need to do something. I need to know what changes it's made. I have in-house programmers that can implement the changes you sell.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah. So you may not have caught all that, but what ended up happening was this guy is telling me what to do already.
Right.
No respect for the professional services. If his in-house people were any good at all, they'd already done the shit.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, and he spends a ton of money, which is throwing money at me, but he won't give me money like that at all, which I'm not asking for. We're a fantastic deal, and I wouldn't even, it's another thing, I won't change my program for him.
Right.
We have a program that will change mildly for each person, but it works.
If we tell his developers what they have to do,
yeah,
what's he paying us for, and how long is he going to do it?
Right.
Because he's going to, well, you told us what I needed to know. We're good now. Because he thinks that he can make a few changes, tweak a few things, and be fine. He doesn't understand the concept that it's an ongoing effort.
There's a lot of whammies in that whole thing.
And also the whole thing of developers doing SEO. Go on Twitter sometime and look up SEO versus developers, and there's like a whole feud, like Hatfield and McCoy feud in our world over developers and SEO.
They won't do it.
How they don't. The developers won't do it. A friend of mine, actually former employee of our firm, who moved on.
I'm going to read it here in a second.
In her position, she's not allowed to get into the website and make changes. You know what I'm talking about? She has to make recommendations to the developers, and they never get done. And then a VP comes in and says, "Why aren't the rankings up?" Well, the changes that I've recommended for 6 months haven't been done.
Yeah. So we cost about 1/70th what this guy spent.
Yeah.
Maybe barely more. But we wouldn't change it because there's no telling how bad the road down it is. I'm going to call the guy. I have a potential thing to talk to him about. The other thing we're talking about when you're talking about changes, well, some changes, content's still king, but you still probably need about a 30, 40-page website. Right. This guy's got like a 400-page website.
Oh, Lord.
So there's a lot of, I indexed it before I called him, and there's a lot of other problems going on here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it out loud. I spend $70,000 a month on TV, radio, PPC, social media, and Google, guaranteed. I have not spent much effort on organic growth. Now, let's stop here. So you have a guy for years and years and years. They've done traditional media. I have another podcast I want to do called Change or Die, and it's not even, I'm not even talking about this kind of crap.
Yeah.
This guy didn't change a long time ago. He probably doesn't, unless this market is like something you can wrap your arms around, like Lubbock, Texas, that we were talking about.
Yeah.
He's not going to get recognition off of this. This is not, he's making money off of, he's getting maybe a 0% return. Yeah. Like he's getting a new client for nothing.
Yeah. And
maintaining a client base of repeats.
Yeah, he's got repeats and some referrals and word of mouth. Yeah.
But he's not making money on TV, radio, PPC,
radio especially.
All right, so I have not spent much more. So in all that time, he hasn't moved forward and done it. Now the site's old and old school, and he's old school, so I got to deal with all that.
Yeah.
I would like to, but he's coming clean and he's wanting to do stuff right. But he gave me all this baggage up front. It's like dumping 40 carry-ons, and in front of me, and I'm like, dude, we can't deal with all this baggage here.
Yeah. An HVAC company telling you up front that they have developers, plural, on the payroll is frightening all by itself, because that's the wrong place to put money for an HVAC company.
So I would like to find a full-service company to handle our entire internet presence and concentration on social media and organic growth. So social media doesn't have jack shit to do with the big show.
Right.
Nothing. Now, if somebody's going to do social media properly, I've always recommended they do it themselves, because I can't personalize it for you.
Right.
Now, we'll run some stuff for you, like a paid ads campaign, if somebody really wants to, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
End of story. But I'm being told what to do right here, right? And so my site is custom built, period. That was a sentence, by the way. And so who custom built the website that gets no organic ranking at all? It's just admitted
those developers that he has on staff.
But it's custom built.
Yeah.
So basically, so everybody understands what is going on here. This is a complete shit website that does nothing, that he said does nothing.
Yeah.
That's custom built, which who cares if it's custom built if it gets no response at all?
Yeah. Google doesn't really care if you use like something like WordPress or Duda or Joomla or any of the CRMs and backends that you can use. Google's fine with all that. They don't. If you decide to custom build a website and reinvent the wheel, you get no credit for that. That they don't care one way or the other.
Nolan Walker here for Roofing Webmasters. I want you to consider becoming one of our clients. We've done this for 12 years, have hundreds of clients. We help everybody with their design, their code, their content, showing up on Google as high as possible. Clients get regular call volume. If you've never experienced what I call the big show, showing up on Google organically, which is where the vast majority of the clicks occur, on your map, your reputation, your reviews, your organic keyword ranking, you owe it to yourself to try us. We even have proprietary software that we own called Datapens that lets you post pictures of jobs, unique captions that increase keywords and long tail keywords, your rankings on Google, text and emailing clients about reviews, even posting pins and photos and captions back to Google. All this helps your organic rankings. Datapens is fantastic, and the work we do here at Roofing Webmasters is fantastic. Please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. So the next sentence is, my site is custom built in WordPress. For the blogging section, which we're WordPress.
No, it's just funny of custom built in WordPress. It's like, okay, then it's not really custom built.
Blogging and have active campaign for funnels. We have an in-house programmer, my bad.
Okay, one.
That can make changes to site as needed. So the site, this whole thing, that's it. That's the end of the small paragraph.
Would you want to bet that if I tore up the source code on that site, I'd find out that it was a template that had been customized?
Template with hundreds of pages that need to come down, that need to completely be reworked. There's tens of thousands of dollars of work there. If you do it their way, if you did it our way, it'd be easy to fix.
Yeah.
So if you go back and go through this old guy to get to it, no offense to old people, by the way, we're getting pretty old here, but it's his mentality.
Yeah.
His mentality is stuck in the past, evidenced by TV and radio.
Yeah.
And he wants me to go through him to fix it through that. Now, if we just made a proper website, it's easy to do. So I feel like I want to go over some positive stuff here. So it's easy enough to do a clean website on the same URL.
Right.
Do 30 or 40 handwritten pages on clean code, 100 points of schema code, fast website.
If you're replacing something like that, you do redirects,
site structure,
broken links.
Yeah. So everything's synced up. Pretty simple. Google read it and say, oh man. And whether you're that guy or on the other side with the 2-page guy, they'll reread the new site and go, man, this is 35 great pages with great content, great code base.
This person decided to get serious.
They got this is worthy of showing people.
Right.
So we can bump your GBP, your Google Business Profile. We just got another 1,000 indexed words out of all this whole thing. So so it goes in, and then you start giving pins or reviews and captions and all this great stuff, great content. His blogging was mentioned on there. I didn't go into that. I think it's archaic. I think it's over. Basically,
blogs are probably a huge portion.
Probably hundreds
of pages. And what a lot of people don't realize is if you got the 2-page site, you have nothing for Google to rank you on. If you have a 400-page site for a local business, what you have is a whole lot of stuff for Google to downrank you on. Because there's no way that 400 pages are all getting a lot of traffic. So Google looks at the site and they see 200, 300, 350 pages that no one ever visits. And the algorithm's conclusion from that is nobody likes that site.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't show anybody that site.
Low search volume, trash content.
Yeah, that's the logical steps it takes.
So most of it, I'm getting off in the weeds here, but I just want to give a few examples of why stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
Most people just have a simple website they never work on. Most people's mentality is I can't get up there. They don't do anything. They buy a truck and tools and have expertise. And then their website, they stare at it as something foreign and never help it at all. That's their brand. That's their business. And in fact, it's their sale.
Right.
So their brand and business and digital footprint and signals coming from Google, which is pretty freaking easy for us to do to help somebody with.
Absolutely.
Pretty damn easy for them to do. Except to get past a mental block that they can't do it, that they shouldn't do it, that they got screwed over before and they're burned and psychologically damaged and won't do it again. They got to get past all that shit and put up a website. Get it worked on reasonably. Pay someone something decent to work on it. It's another thing people do. It's like, I paid $99. This shit didn't work.
Well, no shit.
I'm horribly psychologically damaged and I'm never going to do it again.
Right.
Ever. I've been burned. It's not like they fell in love, you know? It's not like that. It's not like that.
But people often act like it.
But they act like it. They act like their heart got broken and they can't do it again. They're like, I just can't go through the emotional turmoil again. You guys burn me too much. I don't burn people. We do a good job. I can't help it that 90% of the web community is rotten apples. This is not my freaking problem, you know? So they're trying to cancel Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, over some shit he said about being happy that there are 3.5 billion poor people. It's like
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah. They're trying to cancel culture. It's like, Kevin, how do you feel about 85 people being as rich as 3.5 billion people? He's like, I think it's great. I think it's great. We serve an example to get pull your socks up. He's like, these people don't have socks to pull up, Kevin. It's like, but it's not my fault that there's like 98% of all web agencies are bad.
Yeah.
It's not Kevin O'Leary's fault that 3.5 billion people in other countries are poor.
Yeah.
Him being rich didn't make them poor. You know?
And
but
it's not our fault that this is an unlicensed, completely unregulated
don't
industry.
Get me started, Jason. I'm a conservative Texan. I don't want regulation.
But you know what I mean. Like, there's no real certifications. There's nothing that proves that you know what you're talking about until after the sign up and you've done it.
If government ever came in to try to prove that I know what I'm talking about, you can damn well guarantee that anybody that's certified doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, because the government would be shit on the knowledge base of it. You know, like they absolutely would be. Like, and by the time a college would give a degree on this, it's done and changed.
Yeah.
Hell, by the time a college gets a degree on medicine, it's done and changed at this point.
Yeah.
You know, medical.
Yeah.
Their knowledge base within 4 years is outdated.
Right.
You know? So in this business, I don't know how long, a couple of years maybe.
Yeah. Max.
Year or two. Well, if
stuff changes every year.
If you change nothing year by year, within 2 years, you've got a business.
Yeah.
But we change most of that stuff for the clients. Clients overcomplicate this.
Right.
This is overcomplicated by a client. Just because they go buy truck tools and other stuff, and then they completely abandon their marketing, completely abandon their brand. They completely abandon all of it, and then a little bit of fear and a little bit of money keeps them from doing anything. And It drives me freaking insane. I want people to be successful with it, and most of the time, by the time people call me, they're ready to do something. And I'm always respectful. I always tell people, like in almost every conversation, I'm Texas respectful and Texas straightforward. But Texas respect doesn't mean that straightforwardness is always sugar-coated.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's the Texas version of it.
Part of Texas respect is
telling you like it is.
Telling you like it is, not, blowing smoke up your ass. To put it more.
They don't want smoke blown up their ass because they've already had it done before, and when they blow smoke up their asses, they lose a shit ton of money.
Right.
So the guy comes over and says, can you make my 400-page website Dance Boy? Can you make my 2-page website Dance Boy? And the weak-kneed snowflake piece of crap that sold them shit and lied will take their money and lie to them. So,
oh yeah, we can do whatever you want.
Me? No. I'm not going to sign you up for 4 months and watch you fail just so I can snivel off a little bit of cash from you and lie to your ass about how great service. I mean, I don't do that. We have great services. We sell great services. If somebody doesn't dish up a platform that I can win from, you know damn well we lose money if they leave within the first year.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say frequently, but we do. People will call in, like maybe this guy, after you talk to him, if he stands down on all of those points, it's unlikely we're going to work with it because we don't want to set ourselves up or him for failure.
He can't come off all those points.
Yeah.
Like, he can't. I stared at that lead for a week, frankly, and then I was slow one day and called it. Contrary to what I sound like on some of these, we never disrespect a client.
Right.
Ever. We never disrespect a person, talk down to them, what I call web geek cocky, and most people understand exactly what we're doing because we speak in plain terms or technical and explain it to them.
Right.
With Texas respect. And, but this guy can't come off of that many points at one time.
Yeah.
So the developers that's on staff and that great website have jacked it and can't.
And we're going to have an issue because that developer is going to be very jealous of his prerogatives.
All kinds of stuff.
And everything that his boss says to him, he's going to find a way to say, oh, no, those guys don't know what they're talking about. We can't do it that way. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, and you just gave him a lot of credibility. Is he really a developer?
Well, I don't know. I'm going by what he said. I'm not.
You haven't seen the site or anything, but no. If he's sitting by himself at a plumbing company, he's not a developer.
Yeah.
He's their whipping office boy. You know?
Yeah. Who learned enough to install a WordPress theme and customize it a little bit. Which it might be one of the themes that's all the customizations built in.
It's like your teenage kid showing you how to do something technological, and you're like, "You're brilliant." The developer sitting in the office is probably not brilliant. He's just smarter than the next guy.
Yeah,
you know, that's
he just knows more about that one thing than the rest of the office.
Yeah.
Nolan Walker here with Plumbing Webmasters. I'd like for you to consider becoming a client. You know, we have a lot of great people that work here at the company. We help hundreds of clients. We've done this for 12 years now. We help clients dominate online. We're a digital marketing agency. I honestly don't think there's anyone better than us at this point in time. We'll help you with your design, your code, your content. We'll help you rank on Google Maps. We'll help you reputation reviews organically. We even have proprietary software that I own in a different company called Datapens, D-A-T-A-P-I-N-S. Datapens allows you to post pictures of jobs with captions and geo coordinates right onto the website. It'll take 90 seconds. A 12-year-old could use it, but you'll be able to post daily and get daily activity, great content. It even posts it back to your Google account. It even texts and emails the client. So one simple thing where you pick a couple of photos you took, wrote a caption, put in the client's cell phone number and hit pin, and boom. And then that is in addition to all the other things that we do for you for SEO. We can also help with paid ads and other things too. But man, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call. You can check us out at plumbingwebmasters.com.
Well, so I want to sum up with this. Do you have anything else, by the way? Any other thoughts?
No, I think
I want to sum up on this. Anybody can deserve it.
Yeah.
Anybody can deserve it, but you don't deserve it. Whoever's listened doesn't deserve it because you're not there yet.
Right.
By the time that someone's there to where they're dogging it on the big show, in the pack 3 for hundreds, if not thousands of keywords, they don't need to educate themselves as much on our podcast. Now, I would recommend that they come back every once in a while.
For the new stuff, because everything changes.
Probably not for the tongue lashing ones like these, because they're already there.
Yeah.
But
they know they deserve it because they're getting those results.
But 90% of the guys need the tough love conversation like this. This doesn't mean to be, I'm trying to help people.
Right.
And I think that people need to hear it like this.
Yeah.
Like if you've done all your work and you're a skilled craftsman or you're a good business person and you've done everything else and you decide to leave your branded online effort up and not do shit to it, you will get what you deserve.
Right.
But you could just as easily put up a great web effort, design, code, content, reviews, reputation, pins, geo coordinates, integrations that we help you with, and then get reviews on your end, and you're going to dominate eventually in that category.
Right. What I see when I look at conversations online from other people in SEO is people that I respect in the industry.
Yeah.
I don't ever see them go up and say, I worked really hard on this site and I think it should be better. Why isn't it getting more? I never see that.
Yeah.
What I see is, hey, we did this and we got these results. And everybody, congratulations. But you don't see anybody who knows what they're doing who's in there saying, I did everything right and it's just not working. If you're doing everything right, it'll work.
Most people that call that are ready are humbled a little bit. You know, no one has to kiss our butt, do anything, and I don't care who calls. You laugh about this, but everybody that ever calls has a shit website.
Yeah.
And I don't ever pick on them about it.
I can think of maybe twice in 8 years where someone has called me, oh, this website's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's so rare that it barely bears mention.
It's not worth talking about it, because as soon as we say that every once in a while someone's good, this guy on the
they probably think they do. Oh, I'm the 1%.
I'm the one guy.
You're not.
Yeah. That's why.
Forget what Jason just said, damn it.
Yeah, so, sites aren't good. I don't care. We're here to help people. When people call us, they're usually ready for it. I'm humbled when I call people. I have to call my banker later today. I'm not going to call him, disrespect him. It's like, hey, man, I don't think you're doing this whole banking thing right now. I think you need to do this different. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to go down, all right? You're going to listen to me. I don't have enough money to buy that apartment complex, but we're going to make it happen. But anyway, so, people don't do that with other professions, but they do with this one a lot. Yeah. But most of the people that call us are in a good mental state.
Right.
A good enough one to say, hey, I'm tired of getting screwed around. I'm tired of not winning. I know I can get up there. I believe in myself. And I've done some due diligence to find somebody as good as the Webmasters. And then they call up and we make it happen and we have a successful relationship with them most of the time, unless they get caught somewhere in this narrative bullshit or something goes haywire in their brain. The only time people fail is when something goes haywire in their brain.
Right.
Agreed?
Agreed. Absolutely.
That's a whole different podcast.
That's a series. That's what that is.
Yeah, but as long as somebody keeps their head screwed on straight, it's their job to get their brand out there. And if their online brand digital signaling is hitting, it'll match up and help them with their dreams, which is what we're here to help them do. I get a little weird about that but I want people to do well. We want them to kick ass. And truth is, I can't live my dreams, and we don't run it as a business if we don't help them anyway.
Yeah.
I don't structure it to get them screwed, because they pay $99 to get started plus their monthly fee, which is ongoing. But we eat a ton of money with a client. That's why we don't want to. People wonder why we don't take anybody, or it's like it scares us, because that guy's site, we normally spend thousands. He's going to cost us 2 to 3 times more.
Yeah.
And
has a high likelihood of leaving within 6 months.
Because he doesn't understand, because his positioning isn't right.
Right.
He's just on the very first stages of, I think I need to fix something. Yep. But he's not willing to move up to the next level.
He's probably hit the point where his advertising, he can't grow the advertising budget anymore. It's already straining what he can handle, and it's not providing the return it used to.
Correct.
And so it's like,
you're a wise man, sir.
So he's like, I got to do something different. This is the only thing I haven't tried.
Yeah.
I tried everything else first, except the thing that really works.
Except the big show. Yeah. Except the big show. If you haven't participated in the big show, call us. We'd both like to help you. We've got a team of 15 people here. We've done this for 12 years. That's what we're here for. So, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one.
Take it easy.